Hey guys, welcome to Joe Knows. I'm really glad that you took some time to be with us today. Now, yesterday, we're filming this on April 28th. And yesterday, April 27th, is my birthday. And I'm going to tell you something that maybe you're going to be surprised at, maybe you won't, but I turned 65 yesterday. And a lot of you are saying, oh my gosh, you're old. I know I don't look it. I don't really care whether I look it or don't look it. I just yesterday completed, I started my 66th year because I completed 65 years on Earth. And a lot of people in Western countries, by Western we mean the civilized, the more civilized world, we fight the battle of age. But that's a mistake. It's a losing battle, and it's also foolish. So I want to tell you about an experience that was life-changing for me. It happened this past December. And when you all have been around, as long as I've been around, it's not every day that you have a life-changing experience. But I was in California, in Malibu, staying with my brother, and he said, Joe, have you ever been to a presidential library? And I had been to one, and I won't mention the one I was to, but it was very underwhelming. But he said, I want you to go to this presidential library in California. It was the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Now, if you're like me, you think a library means there are books there. Library is a term, it's really like a museum that tells the story of this particular president's life, and all presidents get them. So I went to this, and it was a life-changing experience. Let me tell you why. It's not so much that I saw, heard things that shocked me. I was very impressed with Ronald Reagan as a person, as a follower of Christ. What really got to me was that when he was my age, right around my age, Ronald Reagan became governor of California. And he served in that role for 8 years, and shortly after that, he became the President of the United States. And for people in my age group that have been around, seeing the number of presidents we've seen, many of us, regardless of what political affiliation we have, would say Ronald Reagan was the best president of our lifetime. What was life-changing for me? The fact that he was actually older than me when he did the two most significant things that he had ever done in his life. Be the governor of a state and do an amazing job for 8 years, and then be the president of a great nation, and he did an outstanding job. So it changed my life because I was thinking, man, you know, I can start playing a little more golf, taking it a little bit easy. After being at that, having that experience, I said, man, I got to get busy because my most effective years are right before me. They're now. So I'm not going to apologize for being 65. 2 years ago, I would not have told you that. I'd have avoided it because I had fallen into the lie that the world tells us many lies. One of the lies is that you can beat age, that it's bad to be older, and all of it is just not true. You see, you have a life, and that life is a journey. And the amount of years you've been on life only indicate, it just is a reflection of how long you've been around here. Now, I've learned a couple of things. I've learned this. Every year that I stay alive, the number of people that I have more experience than in life, it just grows. And as I just stay alive, I continue to climb, and I sit higher on the chart of knowing more about life from experience than anyone else. Lots of babies are born. Well, I'm way ahead of them. But as older people die, and as I stay alive, I'm in much more of a position of having influence, of having wisdom based on the things that I've seen in life. And I guess what I'm saying is, man, I am in a great position now to understand things that are happening in a world that often doesn't make sense. See, so why would I fight my age? Now, here's how I want that to play out for you. We probably have a broad range of people, age people that watch this. And for those of you that are in my age bracket, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, will you stop trying to be young? Stop trying to be something you're not. If you're 65, you're 65. If you're 47, you're 47. If you're 73, you're 73. Whatever you are, would you begin to embrace the fact that you have more to give? You are further ahead of most people as far as experience than you ever have been before. So would you start taking some of the things you've learned and teaching them to younger people around you so that we can benefit from the wisdom and the experience you have in life? Would you recognize person that's maybe in my age group, that you have a greater purpose now than ever before, and a greater platform, and you have more wisdom than ever before? Would you begin to understand that? And you know what I'd say? I go to a church, it's a young church, but there are some older people there, and every one of us has the opportunity to take a younger person under our wing and to tell them something. We don't have to tell them everything. We don't know everything. There's so many things in the new world technologically we don't understand, but I'll tell you what we do understand: life. We've seen a lot of people come and go, a lot of leaders come and go, a lot of presidents come and go, all kinds of things we've seen. We're not shaken so easily. We get the idea. We see how God has set this world up. And would you, with me, make an impact in the lives of younger people? But now I want to talk to the younger people. And you think that you don't need us. And I say that because you think you don't need your parents. You think your parents don't know anything. And listen, there are lots of things they don't know, but I'll tell you what I just shared. They have life experience, and there are things that you will only know from having lived 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. You cannot learn. You cannot get 70 years of life experience in 20 years. It doesn't work that way. Would you begin to recognize that older people, and I want to talk about in the body of Christ, that we need, that you as young people, you have the energy, the strength, the enthusiasm, the understanding of the world that we live in today, but you need older people to pour into your life so that you don't have to learn everything the hard way. You know, I go to Africa a lot, and I've been to Indonesia on a number of occasions, and those are countries that they're not exactly, we wouldn't call them part of the Western world, and there are some things that we would say they're behind us on. But I'll tell you something they're not behind us on, is the understanding of the place of the older person. See, when I meet a young African pastor, when he comes to greet me, and I'm only 5'4", okay? I've never really admitted that before, but that's really how tall I am. 5'4" and 1/7. But when a young African pastor meets me, he prostrates himself to where he's under me, under my shoulder. He bows down to recognize, so that he wants me to know that he recognizes that I have years of experience over him. They do that in Indonesia too. They respect those who've been around longer than they have. And in so doing, they don't necessarily have to learn everything the hard way. Do you know, the scriptures teach us that in a general sense, the older are to teach the younger. So we need some older teachers to step up. You don't need the office of teacher. You just need to know that you have earned the right, because of your experience, even if you messed up. You've earned the right to speak into the lives of younger people. And we need some students, some young people who recognize the importance of having older people who can speak wisdom into their lives. And as we do that, we will grow and develop the way we will function in communities the way God designed it. I hope that here's how I'll know if I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you'll listen to what I've said and take steps to actually, if you're younger, find someone that's older and get under their wing. If they're 5'4", you may have to bend down a little bit. But I want to tell you that it's going to be worth it, because they have learned a lot of things in life. And if you're an older person, would you stop having pity parties about how old you are and how much things hurt and everything else? And would you seize the moment? And there's going to come a day where God takes you out of this life and you will no longer have the opportunity to influence young people. But while you're still here, would you take the opportunity to invest in the lives of young people? And as we do that, we're going to see the body of Christ grow the way it's designed to. God bless you. See you next week.
Hi, my name is Yomi, and I am the videographer for Square One Ministries. Pastor Joe makes these videos to encourage you, and we're hoping that you're staying connected throughout the week, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And guess what? Here in the next few weeks, we're actually going to be uploading some testimonials from several areas of counseling and coaching. So make sure you're checking out our website to look at those updates. Who knows? Maybe you see a familiar face on there. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.